Hello, welcome to the Akixi General Admin User video. This video has been made to accompany the Akixi General Admin User Guide, which can be found on our website at www.akixi.com under Resources, Documentation, and under General Documents you'll find the Akixi General Admin User Guide here. This video will provide you with useful instructions on how to successfully utilize your Akixi admin account to perform such actions as adding a supervisor, adding ACD agents, extension devices, and more. Please note that aspects of this video have been blurred due to confidential data. Before you start to use and familiarize yourself with the Akixi admin interface, it is strongly recommended that you first retrieve the billing configuration for your customers. This can be very useful when determining how much you will need to bill your customers or generally checking up on the number of custom extension devices and supervisors that are set up on the Akixi service. Once you've made your administrative changes, ensure that you retrieve another billing configuration from Akixi so that you can see that the changes made have been reflected. Doing so will ensure that you are aware of how much you can expect to be billed and that there are no unexpected billing charges due to the administrative changes you have made. To download a billing summary or a billing CDR, simply log on, click on Status and Tools, and under Billing Reports, ensure that the Telephony server and the partition is selected, or you can choose all Telephony servers and all partitions to see all the data for all of your customers. For the purpose of this video, we'll be using a demo Telephony server called Amazon Telecom and a demo partition called Green Vets. Depending on the data you want to see, select either Billing Summary or Billing CDR. If you click Billing Summary, click OK, a CSV file will be automatically downloaded. If you open that, you'll be able to see all the billable items that Akixi will charge you for. For example, for each customer, you can see how many extensions, ACD agents, presence users, and supervisors each customer has. Let's just close that. If you click Billing CDRs, another CSV file will be automatically downloaded. And here you can see similar data that the billing summary shows you in a different format. This can be imported into your own billing system if necessary. Let's just close that. Now we will discuss what an Akixi admin user is and how to add additional admin accounts. An admin account is provided to you by Akixi and enables resellers the ability to make configurational changes to the way their customers' Akixi service is configured and running. Resellers can investigate issues and retrieve billing information relating to the configuration of the service for a particular customer. Admin accounts are free of charge, provided that they are not configured with any reporting capability. Admin accounts are available for any Akixi reseller who has customers that use the Akixi service. It is easy to add an additional admin account by using the existing admin account that Akixi provided you with. Ensure that you're logged on with your admin account to your Akixi service, then click Administration, click Application Users, and make sure you've selected the correct telephony server and partition here. Once that is selected, simply click Add. A pop-up window will appear. In the username, enter a valid username. We recommend that the format for this username is as follows: the end user company name at theresellercompanyname.com. For the purpose of this video, let's for example use greenvets at amazontelecom.com. Once you've provided a suitable username, enter the email address associated with this admin account. For example, let's use j.johnson@amazontelecom.com, and then put, for example, admin2. Now make sure that the password change required box is ticked, as well as the send welcome email. Doing so will ensure that an automated email will be sent to the admin's email address containing the username and password. Under Permissions, drop down next to Reporting Access and select None, and tick the System Administration box. Please note that if you select any reporting access other than none for your admin account, this will affect billing and you will be charged. Once all of the above has been completed, finally click Add and then OK. Now, as you can see in our window that the new username has been added successfully. With your admin account, you can add supervisors. Supervisors are assigned to the end user customer. With this account, customers can log into Akixi and access reports, run a wallboard, create charts, schedule emailed reports, modify reports, and much more. Creating a supervisor account is very similar to creating an additional admin account. Ensure you've selected application users and ensure that the telephony server and partition that is required are selected. Click Add. Enter a valid username in the username box. For the supervisor, it is acceptable to use the supervisor's email address. For this example, let's use John Smith at greenvets.com. Then click out of the box and the email address will automatically be duplicated in the email delivered to box. Next to the full name, type in the supervisor's full name. So in this case, it will be John Smith. Ensure that the password change required box is ticked. Tick Send Welcome Email. The customer will receive an automated email with their login details for their supervisor account. Under Permissions, next to Reporting Access, drop down and select the correct reporting license that your customer requires. For this example, let's stick with the Akixi 2000. Under User's Endpoint Location, next to Main Device, drop down and select the supervisor's endpoint. Okay. Doing so will enable certain Akixi call control features. Once all of the above has been completed, click Add and OK. And now we've successfully added a new Akixi 2000 supervisor. If you need to reset a supervisor's account, you will need to scroll down. Next to the name of the supervisor account, there's a tick box, as you can see here. It's already ticked. And ensure that the tick box is selected. And then tick Change. Ensure that the correct email address is shown next to emails delivered. Click Set Random. Akixi then will generate a new random password, ensuring that your customer's account is secure. Then ensure the password change required box is ticked, and then tick Send Welcome Email. And finally click Save. Now the new credentials will be sent to the supervisor. In certain instances, you may want to lock out a supervisor so that they cannot access their Akixi reporting service. An example of this may be where the customer is not kept up to date with their payments or when you are setting up reports for them, such as performing maintenance. Please note that locking out supervisor accounts does not exclude them from billing. Similar to resetting the password for the supervisor, select the supervisor you wish to lock out. So let's stay with John Smith for this instance. And ensure that the tick box is selected and then select Change. Underneath Change User, tick Locked Out and then click Save. Now the supervisor account will be locked out. To unlock your supervisor account, follow the same steps as before. Ensure the supervisor is selected and click Change, and then untick the locked out box and once again click Save. And now your supervisor account is unlocked and once again has full access to the Akixi reporting service. If you need to reassign the supervisor account to someone else, ensure that the supervisor is selected and then click Change and change the username by adding the new supervisor's email address. So if we click Change and let's change that to Janet Johnson at greenvets.com, and then copy and paste this email address and then ensure it matches and is selected and put into the emails delivered to. Update the full name box, so I'll change that from John Smith to Janet Johnson. Let's reset the password by clicking Set Random and then ensure the password change required box is ticked and then click Send Welcome Email. It's always recommended to check the correct level of reporting license has been applied to the supervisor account. Failing to do so may result in Akixi billing for a higher license than initially required. Under User's Endpoint location, change the main device and select the new supervisor's device. There we go. Click Save, and now the supervisor has been reassigned and the new credentials will be sent out to the new supervisor. Deleting a supervisor account will result in all settings and scheduled reports being deleted at the same time. Please note that once a supervisor account has been deleted, Akixi will be unable to restore any previous reports that were built within that supervisor account. To delete a supervisor account, confirm that the supervisor is selected and scroll down and click Delete. You'll be prompted with a message asking you if you are sure you want to delete the supervisor. If you are happy with this, then click OK. Now we've removed that supervisor. A benefit with having an admin account is that you have the ability to sign in as a supervisor and make any changes required to their reports, or you can even create their reports for them. We term this as ghosting. This can be useful for diagnosing fault gathering information required in order to raise a support ticket to Akixi. To ghost your supervisor account, ensure that they're selected. So let's select Robert Kane. Then click Sign In As, and then OK. Once you've clicked this, you'll be automatically directed to the supervisor's reporting screen and make any changes necessary. Any changes that you make when you're ghosting will be seen by the supervisor when they next sign in. So if we have a look at their reporting, we can now see all the available reports that that supervisor has and can make any changes. Please be aware that any changes that you make when you're ghosting will be seen by the supervisor when they next sign in. Let's sign out. And let's just log back in. And let's go to Administration, then Application Users. Now we'll be adding a presence user. An Akixi presence user is an application user which can be described as a restricted supervisor. A presence user has access to limited reports that include Extension BLF, ACD Agent BLF, where they can see the status of their colleagues and they have access to their own historical call list. To create a presence user, scroll down and select Add, and make sure you have selected the correct telephony, server and partition. In the username field, let's add the email address of the presence user. For this example, we'll use Jessica Jones at greenvets.com and click out of it, and the same email address will appear in the emails delivered to box. Add the full name of the presence user in the full name box. Now ensure that the password change required box is ticked and also that the send welcome email box is ticked. Under User's Endpoint location, make sure that the presence user's endpoint is selected. There we go. Finally, click Save. And now we have a new presence user. Next, we will add an extension device. An extension device is another name for an extension number that can be used to make internal calls, transfer calls internally, run a voicemail application, or direct calls to a hunt group. Extension devices are usually attached to their own DDI number, which is in turn monitored on the Akixi service for the purpose of gathering data for call reports. To add an extension device, click Administration, then click Devices, and ensure that the telephony server and the partition is selected. Next to Show, drop down and ensure that Extension Devices is selected. Scroll down and select Add, and type the DDI associated with the new extension number in the device number. So we're going to use an example here. And I'll just call that Jessica Red. Ensure that the customer's company name is selected in the partition field, and ensure that the device type is selected as extension endpoint. Then click Add, and now the device has been added, as we can see here. By deleting an extension device, all data that is associated with that device will also be deleted at the same time. To delete an extension, make sure that the device is selected by ticking it in the tick box next to the extension. To confirm your choice and to delete the device, click Delete. And acknowledge the warning regarding the loss of data once a device is removed from this service. If you need to update all your devices to reflect the changes that have been made on your phone platform, then select Partitions and select the company name that you wish to update. Click Select here and then click Change. To update the device descriptions shown in Akixi to match those shown on your phone platform, then click Perform Synchronization Now. Then finally click Save, and Akixi will then automatically perform a sync that will take approximately 2 minutes, dependent on the size. Once you've clicked Save, then the synchronization will automatically occur. Eventually the status will update with synchronization completed. Once it is done so, then you will know that all the device descriptions have been updated. If you need to update all devices shown in Akixi to match those shown in your phone platform, make sure that the partition is selected and so is the company name, then click Change. Tick Perform Synchronization Now, and also tick Retrieve All Extensions Agents. By doing this, Akixi will extract all devices in and start monitoring them on the Akixi service. Please note that this may affect billing. Please remove any extensions that you do not require Akixi to monitor. To confirm this change and to start the automatic sync, click Save and acknowledge the billing warning that appears on the screen. You'll notice the status states Synchronize as pending. If you keep refreshing, and you'll see the status eventually change to synchronizing. Eventually the status will update to synchronize completed, and you'll know that all the devices from your phone platform has been retrieved. Moving on to ACD agents. An ACD agent is a premium extension that is usually used in formal call centers where agents can sign in and sign out of queues, and their status can be monitored, for example, sign in, sign out, wrap up, and not available. To add an ACD agent, go to Administration, click Agents, and ensure that the correct telephony server and partition is selected. Then scroll down and click Add. Next to the ACD agent number, enter the DDI number for the device here and ensure that the relevant partition is selected. And in description, I will call this person Christine Board. Once you're happy with the changes you've made, then click Save. To delete an ACD agent, under the same Agents tab, select the ACD agent that you'd like. So we will select Christine again, and then click Delete, and then OK. And then OK again. And now that ACD agent has been successfully deleted. Agent unavailable codes are configurable attributes that are applied when an agent becomes unavailable. Agents may select a reason for changing their agent ACD states to unavailable using their handset or client. These reasons can be reported on using Akixi and are a useful tool in evaluating an agent's performance during the day. Unavailable codes are automatically added to the customer's Akixi account when the application performs its nightly synchronization. We add these unavailable codes automatically due to the fact that they're not chargeable from Akixi. To see a list of unavailable codes, go to Administration and then click Codes and ensure that the correct telephony server and partition is selected, and then under Type, drop down and select ACD Not Available Codes. Now you can see a list of all the not available codes here. Supergroups are custom hunt groups that Akixi can create and customize that allow customers the ability to compartmentalize their branches. For example, with supergroups, you can have several branches or offices of a company under one partition. Each of those supergroups can be customized so that only, for example, each branch manager can only see reporting for their branch and not another branch. Each supergroup will need to be configured as a device. To do this, under Administration, click Devices, and scroll down and click Add. Next to device number, type the custom group name. So for example, Green Vets, Reigate. We do advise that when you create the name of your custom supergroup, to make the names as short as possible. We suggest that you follow the following format. The first letter of every word should have a capital letter. Doing this will ensure that the supergroups can be easily found. Next to device type, drop down and select Group Collective. After completing this, in the description of the supergroup, type the full description, for example, Green Vets Reigate. The next step creates a group membership where you will need to add all the devices and groups in the Akixi supergroup. The first option is to add the devices or extensions one by one, like so. So let's add a few devices manually. There you go. Now let's remove those devices, and I'll also show you the next option where we can add the range of numbers. So let's remove those. To add a range of numbers, let's do, for example, the following. And then select Add Range. Once you've added the required devices and groups that need to be in the supergroup, and then click Add. Each supergroup will need to be assigned to a supervisor, who will be able to view all the reports for the selected devices. To assign a supervisor, go to Application Users. Let's select Robert, and then click Change. And under Permissions, next to Device, let's drop down and select the supergroup that you've just created. Then click Save. Now the selected supervisor has been successfully assigned to your newly created supergroup. For more information on any multi-site configurations, please contact your account manager, who will be able to assist you. Now you should have a good understanding of what you can do with your new Akixi admin account. Along with this video, please also refer to the Akixi General Admin Guide, which can be found on our website as mentioned earlier in this video. We would also advise that you watch this video whilst going through the admin user guide. For any additional questions, please contact us at support@akixi.com. Thank you.